Good evening, everyone. How are we all doing? You all good? What? My name's Mark, with a C. My parents decided to give me that name because they wanted me to stand out and be different. So here I am, I'm white, middle-aged, straight male, trying to make you laugh. She put me through school. I didn't want to stand out at school. If I went to school, I wanted to stand out for educational excellence and sporting prowess, but very average GCSEs, I'm afraid. You know, at one point when I was growing up, I wanted to change my name, get sick of trying to spell it and correcting everyone else. I came down to 2 names left. I went between Phil and Paul. And I thought, your surname's Cox. That's not going to work, I need to leave it as it is. But I had somebody to blame for this. I had my father to blame. His name was Jeffrey, Jeffrey, or so he thought. It came to the point when he was filling in his marriage certificate, it turned out he'd been spelling his name wrong for the past 30 years. It was supposed to be R-E-Y. And what did he do? Instead of thinking, I'm going to have to change all my details now, he went over to the registrar and said, you got a depot form? It's only 1 form, isn't it? That'll do, 2 for the price of 1. But you know, oh fuck, I've lost my point again. I'm new. I've got it. But there was one thing he did teach me right. He decided he was going to give me the chat one day. I'm sure, have anybody here had the sex chat with their parents? Anybody?
Yes.
There's a few, yeah. It's not very nice, is it? My dad sat me down and said, I've got to have this chat, your mum's told me to. Okay, what? He said, don't worry, I'm not going to tell you about sex, you'll learn about that yourself. All right, fine. He said, you're going to have to learn how to deal with women's questions. What? He said, they're going to ask you awkward questions they already know the answers to. They feel like you're trying to trick you up. Like what? They'll ask you a question like, do you still love me? Does my bum look big in this? And shall we go to my mum's for dinner on Sunday? Dad, those questions are easy. Yes, no, and if she's cooking beef Wellington. So don't be a fucking smart ass. Remember, you may have to lie sometimes. With that, I thought, I'm not going to lie. I went into this relationship, but there's one thing my dad didn't tell me. There was one question I always got asked. What are you thinking? What am I thinking? Why do you want to know what's going on inside this head of mine? What is in here that thinks going to give you so much fulfillment in your life? So I'd answer the questions honestly, because men's brains are very zen-like. They're very empty. All of you with male partners, if you look into their brains tonight, there's fuck all of any interest going. Absolutely nothing. So there I was, I get asked the question. Some of the answers I've given over the years were things like, do dogs lick humans because they're made of bones? 72-hour deodorant. Who the fuck wakes up on a Monday, has a shower, puts spray on and says, well, that's me done till Thursday? And was everybody really kung fu fighting? Everybody, everywhere, as fast as lightning. I don't see it myself. But I've been with the wife now for 26 years. Thank you, you're just clapping for tolerance, it's all right. 26 long years, you know, that's over half my life now. You know, some Metropolitan Police officers have been given less time than that recently. But we had our kids young. They've kind of grown up, they're pissed off now. And it's now just me and her. So if we want to do anything, we can. So we decided one day, fuck it, let's just go for a meal. So we're in the restaurant, we've just had the starters, waiting for the mains to come, a couple of drinks. It's a nice little night, everything's going kind of well. And then we have this little silence when the music changes, like that. Just 5 to 10 seconds of nothingness. And she looks at me and she goes, what are you thinking? My brain's going, oh fuck, you weren't prepared for this one this time. And I had an angel and devil moment. I had the angel on my left go, don't ruin the night. Just say you're having a lovely time. And then the devil, tell her the fucking truth. I thought to myself, for those few kind of seconds, I went, yeah, I said I wouldn't lie. So I looked her square in the eyes and I said, thinking about Toy Story. Toy Story? I said, yeah, Toy Story 3. I saw it the other day with the little nephews. In that film, you know, Andy is 17 years old. 17! And he's still got his toys. He's never got rid of them, he's never passed them down, given them to a friend, put them on a charity shop floor, none of that. Has it not occurred to you at some point, you're going to have Buzz and Woody sat on the floor like this, motionless, looking up, as their childhood companion masturbates his way through his teenage years. And then you've got Bo Peep, who's trying to move behind Rex, and Mr. Potato Head in the hope she doesn't become tonight's cum rag. The wife looked at me and said, I can't believe you said that out loud. I said, well, you did ask, but the last thing I'll leave you with, ladies and gentlemen, is that on the table to the right was my mum and dad. I looked over, my mum had her head down thinking, he's not my son. My dad had his head in his hands and he looked up and he went, Mark, that's the moment you fucking lie. Love you, Mark, thank you, you've been wonderful.